Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and we got a special guest in the building this morning.
Yes, indeed.
We have Axel Alonso. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you feeling this morning?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
You got a long weekend, Comic-Con, all weekend long, and they expect, over hundreds of thousands of people there.
It's the biggest con now.
It's the biggest con now.
Axel, you've been in the comic book business for a long time. You was the former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. What got you into the comic book world?
Well, I got into the comic book world on a fluke. I interviewed at DC Comic Books for an editor position. I sent in my resume, and the editor called me in and said, I wanted to meet you. Mm-hmm. I said, why is this? And he says, I read an article you wrote for the Daily News about the use of the cannabis leaf in hip-hop culture. And I'd interviewed a DEA agent and the editor-in-chief of High Times Magazine. And the High Times Magazine editor stole the guy's girlfriend. So he had a gripe.
The High Times editor stole the guy's girlfriend? Okay.
The editor's girlfriend. He said, I love you. You want a job? I said, all right. So I got into DC Comic Books at Vertigo.
Hold on, so you got a job because somebody stole somebody's girlfriend?
That's crazy. Pretty much, yeah.
He never, I mean, you were qualified, but y'all never
qualified,
did.
Yeah,
you were very qualified.
I was
but y'all didn't get into all that.
overqualified. I took a big pay cut.
What made you do that, though? Because so New York Daily News, were you working in a newsroom?
I worked as a freelancer, working for multiple publications.
Okay.
And I love comic books. I grew up reading comic books. I love them. An amazing art form, as you know. Mm-hmm. Amazing. They taught me to read, and I just thought I'd have an impact. So I went to Vertigo line, which did adult-oriented material at DC Comic Books, and had a good career there with books like Preacher and 100 Bullets. And then Marvel came a knocking at 2000, and I went to them when they were in bankruptcy, and the company was in dire straits, you know. But I had so much fun. They gave me Spider-Man, the Hulk. Mm-hmm. What's not to like, you know?
Do you think comic book is I guess, a form that's dying? And the reason I asked that, as a kid, I know you're from California, but in New York, every bodega had comic books. Every store had comic books. When I went grocery shopping with my mom, she would go get groceries, and I'd go to the comic book section. So, but now I don't see it as much. It almost feels like it has to be a destination spot. It has to be a Barnes and Nobles. It has to be a comic book store. Do you think it's dying? And how do you?
That's a distribution problem. That's not a problem with the art form. The art form itself is inherently amazing. It's only as limited as your imagination and your talent and your guts. So the art form is going to evolve. Mm-hmm. There'll be more digital use of the medium. So again, for me, it's a distribution problem. Like you, I read comic books because my grandma would pick me up after school, take me to the dime store, and I'd buy a comic book off the rack, on a Friday. Mm-hmm. So it's a distribution problem. Once you solve that, there's no stopping us.
And the comic book market is projected to be a $21 billion business by 2029. Like, it's still making billions of dollars.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And does digital help or hurt? The reason, because
it's complementary.
I'm still a guy that likes to hold a paper in hand. You know what I mean?
It's complementary. I mean, what it comes down to, like for me, all my music I listen to on my iPad. My iPhone. Mm-hmm. I don't own CDs anymore.
True. But
with comic books, I select. Some things I read digitally, but the stuff I have to put on my shelf. You just have to. Like ILLuminati.
How many comic books do you have? How many comics do you have?
Me, too many.
How much is too many? Just if you could just round about.
Oh man. Probably about 2,000.
My God.
Yeah. But it's from when I was a kid,
Well, some of them are investments then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you tell your wife. Baby, these are investments.
Before we get into AWA and the ILLuminati, tell them some of the things you did at Marvel, some of the groundbreaking things that people will remember.
Well, the thing I'm most proud of is that in 2015, I'm a hip-hop head. And for me, I was just really tired of seeing the lack of hip-hop in comic books, when hip-hop is giving so much love to the form. Mm-hmm. Like from Green Lantern to Johnny Blaze, Iron Man, you name it, Ghostface. To see all this stuff happening in hip-hop giving so much love to Marvel comic books and Marvel being silent, I thought was inexcusable. So I did the hip-hop variant program where we did 128 covers that were based on classic hip-hop album covers that spanned 30 years.
Dope.
Everything from like Ultramagnetic MCs and Schoolie D, the OG stuff, to Future and Drake.
That's dope.
And every single cover was an homage to a classic album cover done by an amazing artist. And it just showed how many people drawing and writing comic books, you're bobbing your head hip-hop. when you're doing this. Not the Beatles.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And also too, you know, they used to call you a diversity superhero. You are a diversity superhero at Marvel. And during your 5 years at Marvel, correct me what I'm wrong about. You created Miss Marvel.
There were a lot of things involved. Yeah. Miles Morales was on my watch. Kamala Khan.
Yep.
The female Black Panther.
That's right.
When we did that, everyone said, "Who wants that?"
Oh
Yep.
my God, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, when I did the female Black Panther, people were like, "What's it about? Who cares about that?"
Now it's a whole movie.
It saved the franchise.
That's right.
Yeah, it saved the franchise. I mean, what's not to like about a female Black Panther?
You did a female Thor.
Female Thor.
Yep. Which also
Black
made it to
Captain
the
America
movie.
2000.
Black Captain
I
America.
did Isaiah Bradley as Black Captain America because I didn't buy the origin story of Captain America. I don't agree. I don't believe that Uncle Sam in 1940 would have experimented on white boys.
That's right.
I talked with Robert.
right.
I talked with Robert Morales, the writer. He was a journalist. He said, "I agree. I'll write this." We got Kyle Baker, iconic artist, to do the series. It was about a man named Isaiah Bradley, who was the first guy who was experimented on with the super soldier serum. So the first Captain America was black. Now that got me death threats.
I was about to ask you, what was your pushback in your life like? Because you early in the DEI.
Tons, yeah. Well, I'm half Mexican and my wife is Korean, so I got to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
You did the Asian Hulk, Amadeus Cho.
yeah. I did Amadeus Cho as well. My wife is Korean, so my nephews were amazed by that. Blew their mind.
The thing I enjoy about all your characters, all of them have made it to the TV or big screen at this point. You know, Miles Morales, we know how those movies are. They're great. The Miss Marvel is a Disney Plus show.
Exactly.
Female Thor was in the movies. Shuri is the Black Panther now in the movie. Amadeus Cho is coming to Marvel now. Isaiah Bradley is in the TV show Captain America Winter Soldier, and he's going to be in the movie.
Well, I feel validated because for me, I'm a young Mexican kid, and I'm looking at these superheroes. Where's a Mexican superhero?
Yeah.
There ain't none. I like Black Panther the most. Why? Because he had the best costume on Earth.
Yep.
I was disappointed when he was black. I wanted to be Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
So
And one more thing. And you signed Ta-Nehisi Coates to write the Black Panther series.
Yeah, Reggie Hudlin before him
Yes.
wrote Black Panther for 6 years. He reinvigorated the character, and then Ta-Nehisi Coates came on and did an amazing run as well.
Axel Alonso was a legend.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
I wanted to ask, since you created a lot of these characters, do you get, I guess, equity in these characters? Like when because you created these, and like you said, some of these characters are saving the franchise, making movies and all that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I created them. I wouldn't say I created them so much as I was involved in their creation. In the case of the Black Panther, Shuri, Reggie Hudlin said to me, "Let's make things up. Let's put Shuri in the costume." I said, "I'm down. Let's do this. It makes perfect sense to us to do this. It's about time we did that." Amadeus Cho was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, how about we have a new Hulk, optimistic, fun, not, gloom and doom Bruce Banner. We have Amadeus Cho. Next thing you know, we have a Korean Hulk. So for me, it was a necessity. I wanted to see characters like myself when I was a kid. So I can imagine people want to see themselves.
That's right.
Seeing Spider-Man peel back his mask, and you see a black face, it's seismic.
That's right.
And how did you hook up with Charlamagne? I know we don't have much time because we get this on now. How did you hook up with Charlamagne?
Charlamagne started talking with my partner some years ago. His interest in promoting black artists.
Did you ever see his tattoo?
Yeah, I've not. I've seen that in a picture, I think.
Oh.
You have a comic? He has a comic tattoo?
I have Wolverine tattooed on my arm with a microphone in his hand. But I got it when I was 16, 17 years old.
Oh, okay.
So it looks terrible.
It looks hard. But go ahead.
I'll check it out later.
Whoa. Okay, but so how did y'all get it? So y'all said this is what you want to do, and then how did you come up with the franchise and ILLuminati and all that other stuff, and what you wanted to call it? And
when I understood what Charlamagne's goals were, I said I just so happen to have this amazing pitch called Black ILLuminati by Brian Woodward Hill, filmmaker and comic book writer. That's amazing. It's about the number one conspiracy theory of the day, the urban legend. I mean, you see Mecca Platinum star going like this on TV.
That's right.
Someone shows up in pants with sigils on it. P. Diddy's mansion is raided.
That's right.
It's a conversation. Who's out there? It's the most enduring urban legend. This story leans hard into that. Any resemblance to characters living or dead is coincidental unless you don't want it to be.
It may or may not be based on a true story. That's right. So when you see these DJs getting aired out by some of these executives and they look a little similar, or they have names like DJ Jealousy, don't think that it has anything to do with anybody you know.
Are they fighting with baby oil? What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. You'll see.
If you do like this,
Baby oil, not the baby oil turns into special force field of power.
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, is she laying in baby oil?
This is the cover. Tell them about the
Got
story,
no
Axel.
damn baby oil.
Oh.
It's a supernatural thriller.
Oh, her body is tea.
A young woman travels to Los Angeles after the death of her sister. The cops say the sister died of a drug overdose. Sister does not believe this is the case. She investigates and then finds out that there's a secret society that snakes through the corridors of power, and their currency is fame and fortune. They'll give you fame and fortune for a price. You don't want to know what that price is. You want to pay it. So the sister believes her sister paid the price, and she investigates. So it's a supernatural whodunit.
Wow.
That's right.
We got Dennis, the iconic Dennis Cowan is the artist, founder of Milestone Comic Books, and Bill Sienkiewicz, industry icon, covers for RZA, EPM Day, you name it. These guys are legit.
Wow.
What's the
Sanford Green, my
Sanford
guy
Green,
Sanford
yeah.
Green from South Carolina. He did the cover art.
Isn't the name like? Is there some sort of homage to ILLuminati, right?
More or less, yeah.
So
yeah, ILLuminati. Yeah.
and the writer or the guy who created the pitch, is he just like a Nas fan, or like what's the?
Well, the concept for him wasn't so much rooted in hip hop as the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
He wanted to write a book about the conspiracy theory, supernatural murder mystery.
Got you. Okay.
And again, it has to be set in the world of hip hop out of necessity. So again, that's really where it came from. Not so much inspired by Nas or any particular artist. That's just the whole milieu.
You know, Lauren, every day we wake up, there's a new conspiracy theory. You go on
100%.
YouTube, people go down these rabbit holes, and they talk about,
No doubt.
what may or may not be happening in the industry. So once
true, what's
again,
not, yeah.
this may or may not be based on a true story. Okay, and you can go to Kickstarter right now, and if you type in ILLuminati, or you type in Charlamagne, you can, get a copy. And we got all types of stuff. We got merchandise. You see Axel wearing the hat.
The dope little hat. Yeah.
We got the hoodies.
And today you're going to be at Comic-Con, right? What time? You'll be on a panel, correct?
3:45.
3:45, we'll be in room 1C03. Myself, Axel, Alonso, Dennis Cohen, and the good brother Rob Markman will be moderating. So we'll be at New York Comic Con today at 3:45 p.m. Room 1C03. Myself, Dennis Cohen, the good brother Axel, Alonso, and Rob Markman will be moderating. So we'll see you there today.
Yeah, we appreciate you for joining us, and definitely check out is the name of it just ILL or ILLuminati?
ILLuminati.
ILLuminati. 24 hours to go.
24 hours.
Act now. Yeah.
Yes, you can go to Kickstarter right now. You got 24 more hours to order a copy. And then when we dropping?
It's fulfilled within 6 months.
Yes.
For within 6 months. Okay.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.